Interestingly, one of the first papers I found on Ikigai when I was looking online at, I think it was ResearchGate, was related to flow. And it was such a jargon-filled, complicated piece. I put it aside for a couple of years and then I thought, oh, I should get back on this paper. And yeah, it basically wanted to see if Ikigai, the feeling of Ikigai increased in the flow state. And what they found was there was this connection between flow, Ikigai, and sense of coherence. And it was on Tai Chi practitioners. And basically, they found that the longer these people practiced Tai Chi and the more engaged they were with flow, obviously, the more they felt Ikigai. And then they also experienced a sense of coherence and that idea of comprehensibility, manageability, and meaning making of an activity. Because Tai Chi is obviously quite difficult as you get more advanced, all these subtle movements. And so, in short, it's like you experience Ikigai when you're in flow, but also you experience this sense of, you just said, this sense of life satisfaction after the flow state. And you realize, oh, yeah, that was awesome. That was very satisfying. So, yeah, Ikigai sort of popped up there as well. And so that's a module I teach in my own program, based on this paper. So bringing evidence to all these concepts, always exciting.
Yeah, what you've just done there, which is so lovely, is help understand that these things are all related. So to your point, if it's coherent to me, I might increase my sense of meaning. If I'm using my strengths, I might increase my sense of engagement and my connection to what I'm doing. But also then I feel good. So I feel good about the fact that I've made a difference or I've done something meaningful or I've learned something or I've grown. So there's a wonderful cohesiveness, I suppose, around all of these theories in the way they come together within us as a person.
Now I'm going to contradict what we've just talked about because you always seem in flow when you're talking and you're very vibrant and happy. And during our 6 days, you were just awesome, amazing facilitator. You didn't need notes. You're just everything you could answer. And when you couldn't answer, you said, I don't know, but it might mean this. So you seem to be maybe what we could in this kind of low level of flow all the time. You really love your work, you're engaged. So when do you actually reach that let's call it that strict definition of flow, where your skill level meets this certain challenge where you engage in flow? And does it happen often?
It's a really good question. I think I'm highly engaged in what I do. So you're absolutely right. I am lucky that I get to use my strengths a lot of the time. Well, when I say lucky, I'm also well aware I've made some decisions to make that happen as well. So I do get very engaged in what I do. I love what I do. I get energized by what I do. The moment of flow, to your point, if we stick strictly to those 8 components, it absolutely does still happen, and it's usually happens when I stretch myself or I push myself in a certain way. And I'll give you an example. So each year for the last however many years, I have spoken often at the Happiness and Its Causes conference. And I have to admit, I did freak out the organizer once. I think it was about year 2 or 3, when I said to her, when I speak at Happiness Causes Conference, I have made a decision that I am only ever going to do something I've never done before and I've not prepared for. And to the first time I did it, it was definitely a bit anxiety provoking. But since then, they're the moments I'm in flow. I had one example when I was in Iceland last year at the European Positive Psych Conference. I only finished the slides at 8 a.m. I didn't have them printed out because I couldn't, because I didn't have a printer. I basically scanned them on my laptop and then I got on stage at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And I just thought to myself, okay, whatever slide comes up, I'm just going to go. And I have to admit, and there's a picture of me as I come off stage, and that's the moment where I came out of flow and my colleague captured it. And you can see by my face of like, nailed it. But I literally couldn't remember the previous 58 minutes.
Wow.
I was so absorbed. So to your point, because I love what I do, and for a lot of things that I do, I've done them for many years and I've learned more. I tweak things, I stretch things, but I always find little scenarios where I push myself a little bit further every so often. that makes me go, "Ooh, that was a moment of flow." Doesn't always happen, but I try and create moments where it can.
I like this strategy. I might implement it. So